Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Well, rumors are flying that Sammy Smith, the youngster who organized the search for Kiely Rodni, has just hired a criminal defense attorney. I haven't been able to independently confirm this, but apparently Sammy on her Instagram has indicated that she's hired a criminal defense attorney. As far as I know, her parents are lawyers as well. Meanwhile, Kiely's grandparents have also issued a statement criticizing armchair warriors. That is fairly old news though. Let's start with Sammy Smith. Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share, leave a comment. Bear in mind, I'm going to be doing a live stream dealing with a critical investigative tool that was successfully used in the Eliza Fletcher search, one that took only 4 days, whereas the search for Kiely Rodni took 4 times as long. What was this key investigative tool? So look out for news on that live stream. And let's get started. So I must say, I find it quite unbelievable. You would think that sanity would have started to sink in a little in the Kiely Rodni case, but it appears the opposite is happening. There's been literally no news in the Kiely Rodni case, no official announcements, and yet the social media circus just seems to be getting more stormy. The storm seems to be brewing even more. It feels like it's descending into a farce. One creator has even suggested that Kiely never existed and that her real name is Kiely, or try to make sense of that. Meanwhile, the current point of speculation is that Sammy Smith, the original target of YouTubers, has lawyered up. Now, even that may not be true. I haven't been able to verify it, but if it is true, I don't think it's for the reasons creators and their ilk think and perhaps hope it is. Favorite suspect number one of many, if not most creators at some point, Sammy, who spearheaded the search for Kiely, is accused of not looking after her, right? Sammy was supposed to get a ride with Kiely, but then decided she was too intoxicated, that Kiely was too intoxicated, and then got a ride with someone else instead. We also get the most detailed version of the party and the events surrounding it from Sammy. While some creators are adamant that Sammy is lawyering up because she's guilty, I think there could well be another reason. Social media may have forgotten that you can't make absolute accusations of guilt in public. It's defamatory. Remember Depp versus Heard. Heard was sued for suggesting something in writing, something she was ultimately unable to prove in court. It's also true that innocent people get attorneys. In the Fletcher case, Eliza's husband lawyered up and deleted or deactivated his Instagram. People saw that as a sign of guilt, but I don't think it is. Shanann Watts' family lawyered up as well. Meredith Curtis' roommates in the Amanda Knox case did the same. Has any of that been going on in the Kiely Rodni case? Well, if I were you, if you've put up content accusing or suggesting Sammy's involvement, or if you've decided there were all sorts of red flags around some of her statements, well, if she has lawyered up, I think I would be very worried. But also, I wonder if it's even true. Has Sammy lawyered up? Has anyone got confirmation on that? It appears we have to wait 2 long months out here in the wild west of social media for official confirmation from the authorities on a cause and manner of death in the Rodni case. 2 months is plenty of time. It's a heck of a long time for opportunistic creators to make hay within that uncertainty, cycling through a series of hoax conspiracy theories, targeting one after another of Kiely's friends, potentially in their foul play scenarios. And all of that before the official announcement will, I predict, finally squash all the speculation. And it very much does feel like it's social media versus some other investigation, right? You had YouTubers sort of trump what law enforcement were doing, and that kind of led to an open letter to Sheriff Moon from Kiely's grandparents, and they wrote the following. This is from quite a while ago, but it's nevertheless relevant. August 23rd, the day after Kiely was found, an open letter to Sheriff Moon. Over the past 17 days, we've been filled with uncertainty, grief, and fear. Locating our granddaughter on Monday has brought us an element of resolution. So she was actually found on Sunday, but only officially identified the day after. They go on to say, while not the conclusion we had hoped for, this agony has at least been brought to an end. Yes, we are saddened, but we now know where our dear Kiely rests. It took an army of individuals to find her, from backcountry hikers to the FBI, divers, the tow truck operator, print shops, sheriffs, police, Homeland Security, and ultimately the Adventures with Purpose team who found her. Collectively, we all made it happen. Everyone volunteered their skills, stood up for Kiely, and hit the pavement running. In the end, we found her. There will always be an armchair warrior contributing an unproductive display of criticism, ridicule, and blame. The Nevada and Placer County Sheriff's Departments gave it their all. For those who point fingers and don't believe in our law enforcement, if you ever find yourself in deep trouble, simply dial 911. Law enforcement will be at your door within minutes to hold you up during your darkest hour. We are forever indebted to you. Kindly, David and Cassandra Robertson, Nevada City, Truckee. Now, I think that is a very timely thing to address, because we've just had another case in Memphis that started on September 2nd, and by September 6th, within 4 days, the investigation was basically resolved. An arrest made, the guys already appeared in court, and the victim found and identified. So I tend to agree with Kiely's folks. I think we need to believe in law enforcement, not undermine law enforcement. America, if you think your law enforcement has problems, you should look at law enforcement in other countries, like mine. If what happened to Kiely Rodni was tragic, and it was, what was heartening to see was how the community came together to search for her. That's what countries need right now. That's what the world needs right now, is strong communities. Where many saw red flags in Sammy taking the lead in the search, I saw a young woman taking on the role of leadership, or for someone that she barely knew, and being responsible. That's really good to see. So we have yet to see where this whole thing goes with Sammy lawyering up. In the live stream I'm going to do in about 90 minutes at the time that I'm recording this, probably about an hour from the time you see it. But it is 7 p.m. Pacific time, and that's 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to look at a critical tool that allowed Memphis cops to find Eliza really quickly, and we're going to look at a really interesting way that that tool could have been used in the search for Kiely Rodni. So look out for that. I will put a link in the description. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.